taking out your time. On the right, I have with me sorry, I'm messing this up again, but Major J.G. Dominic. He's the head of corporate social responsibility for Titan Company. On the left, we have Dr. N.S. Senthil Kumar, who is the Chief Executive Officer for APT. So, while this is the APT Center, Titan has been closely working with them for over 10 years now, and the focus has been to empower this community, make them more employable and sustainable. So over to both of them. We'll start with the liners and some brief here and over to your questions after that.
So very welcome and thank you for making a time and taking a time and being here with us, all of us here. Also on behalf of Titan and APD, I'd like to welcome you all informally here. So I'd like to introduce what we are doing at Titan in terms of corporate social responsibility. So even before CSR became a mandate by the government's starting of the Companies Act 2013, Titan has been doing a lot of work in that sphere of corporate social responsibilities, getting its DNA from the Tata Group. So we have started doing that much before 2013. So I'd like to give you a broad picture of on what verticals we work. So the first vertical which we are currently working in is on girl child education. So be it the academic support centers, learning centers, creating libraries, helping Anganwadis in making the Anganwadis better, and school adoption programs, government schools we have started adopting in certain places. Like all these kinds of programs we are running, and we are able to impact in the last 1 year almost 50,000 girl children across India. So that is one vertical which we are doing. So we call it Kanya as the program's name, and we are able to impact almost 50,000 girl children. The second vertical we are driving is on livelihood. So be it guiding people on animal husbandry, agricultural practices through various partner organizations, and also interweaving the entire thing on sustainability, how to make villages water smart, be it precision irrigation or spring sheds, creating check dams and stuff like that. We have been able to impact different villages across India again. So that's the second vertical which we do. And also help these villages create FPOs, farmer producing organizations, and helping them sell the non-timber forest producers. That's another part of work we do in the space of livelihood. Speaking of livelihood, we are also concerned about the livelihood of artisans, be it people who work on willow wickers in Kashmir, or the Bagun tribes in Arunachal Pradesh, or people of Toda tribes in Nilgiris. So we are working closely with them to ensure that their livelihood doesn't go lean off, while they continue to work on the arts and crafts which they have traditionally learned generation to generation. So that's another vertical which we have now. And we are also trying to help the design and engineering students learn design thinking and use that design thinking for social problems through a program called Design Impact Movement, and also give grants for those social entrepreneurs who have prototypes, who have working ideas which can create a huge impact in the social problem areas. So that's another program which we have called Design Impact Awards. So that's another thing which we do. And another vertical which we run is responsible citizenship program. Like one of the flag bearer of this program is Happy Eye is the name of the project which we are driving. So there is one thing which I would like to talk about is the CBBF program. So this is basically we try and screen entire taluk or a block. Say last time we were able to do it in Arupukota in Tamil Nadu and Annur in Coimbatore, and we were able to screen almost 2 lakh people there, and then for those people who can we can help them out in refractive errors, we were able to give them glasses, and for those of them who need surgery, we were able to also give them the assistance through Shankar Rama for partners. So that's a Happy Age program we run. So all those verticals we try and have an overarching theme of affirmative action. to ensure that the unreached or the least cared for are taken care of. So all the programs. And then for especially we are running some, we have been able to help the Tamil Nadu government with 5 tribal ITIs which are there in Tamil Nadu, and able to give them assistance in terms of technology, in terms of industry collaboration and stuff like that. And the last vertical which we are running is skilling. So last year alone, we were able to impact almost 40,000 students and train them in employability related skills. So that from there on they can look at employment or entrepreneurship as the paths for their livelihood. So when I speak about skilling, that is where we found APD as our most valuable partner, because they were in the space of dealing with people who need this care the most. So I'm super happy that what started as a partnership in 2011, if I'm not mistaken, as a small sales of calendars and crafts of APD. In the last 10 years, we were able to impact almost 3,500 specially able people. So we will transform their lives, and especially last year alone, we have been able to train 500 of them, out of which 449 of them have been gainfully employed. So one of them you are going to meet. So when we hear stories of success from these people, let's say Padmavati you will be meeting today, she's earning almost 15,000 as a CPC per month. In that, she's been able to save 3 lakh and she has built a toilet for her parents. So these kind of success stories actually keeps our team motivated in scouting for various other social avenue, empowerment avenues for people like them. And we are very, very optimistic that we'll be able to create more such avenues for these specially able people and transform their lives.
Warm welcome to all of you. So about APD, APD is an NGO which was started in the year 1959. So we are actually celebrating our 65 years in the last few years. So it was actually like, it's a dream of a 17-year-old girl who was affected by polio. So during those days, in the post-independence, I'm sure all of you are aware that polio is very common. The history says that 500 to 1,000 children in a day are affected with polio. So our founder NSMA is also a person who was affected with polio. So in those days there is nothing about rehabilitation, no education facilities and all that. At the age of 17, when the parents could able to get a wheelchair for her, that is where actually her dream has started. When she got a wheelchair, she understood that a wheelchair could be able to give her more independence, and she started to explore the community and mainstream. So she expressed to her parents that she wanted to do something for people with disability. That is where actually the Association of People with Disability has been formed in the year 1959. Since its inception, the program which initially was started is livelihood, and over the period we have actually started multiple verticals like health and rehabilitation, education vertical, livelihood and skilling vertical, and also environment vertical as 4 different verticals of APD. When I talk about the health and rehabilitation, so what APD does is we believe in life cycle approach. When I say life cycle approach, it means that we have programs catering services for pediatric to geriatric, all age groups, all disabilities stated in the RPWD Act 2016. It talks about 21 different disabilities. RPWD is the Right to People with Disabilities Act. So all the 21 disabilities are being catered services in APD through a comprehensive approach. Either it be health, rehab, assistive aids and appliances, nutritional support, inclusive education support, livelihood and skilling, or either in terms of spinal cord injury rehabilitation, community mental health, policy advocacy related issues, all that has been catered in the APD services. So talking about our reach, we actually work more towards rural geographies. And in the urban geographies wherever we are working, they are all our pilot areas. What we do pilot here, we will try to actually implement more projects and programs in the northern Karnataka region. Our presence is currently in the 6 southern states of India, like Kerala, Andhra, Telangana, and then even Maharashtra we have actually entered. And in an average, annually we are actually impacting more than 1.2 lakh people with disabilities coming from the rural, poorest of the poor through all these different programs what I mentioned. So talking about this particular place where we are sitting today, we always call this place as a miracle happening place, because 10 years before the place where we are sitting is just a barren land. From a barren land to an eco-green campus is actually the dream of our founder N.S. Emma. And as you see here, when you talk about the livelihood programs of APD, somebody in a youth who has actually not been to school, or sometimes people who are dropouts from school are the target population for this livelihood program what APD is running. We run different domain programs, we build their life skills, we work on their domain skills, and also provide them appropriate aids and appliances so that somebody who has been dependent physically, socially, psychologically, and also economically dependent on the parents, in a matter of 2 months, completely getting independent. They are mainstreamed into the society, they get jobs, and as Dominic mentioned, they get jobs more than 10,000 rupees is normally the pay scale what we normally fix with. We work closely with 200 different employees. The employees will actually be at retail, BPO, hospitality, or even horticulture, gardeners and garden supervisors, are kinds of the trades what we have been working with. We source people, identify people with disabilities from the rural geographies, counsel the parents, counsel them, get them here for a training, and then from there we actually give them placement. Not only placement, we also support them in terms of placement follow-up support. We need to ensure as people with disabilities have challenges in terms of barriers, we also see what kind of accessibility has to be done in the employer place. The employer and the peers are sensitized to deal with people with disabilities, and we support them for 3 months to see that how they are adapting to the workplace. And even beyond, in case if somebody wanted to upskill their skill, they can come back to APD and they can do upskilling with us. So that's why I said this is a miracle happening place. A person with youth with disability will become completely productive, because if you talk to a parent of a person with a disability, their worry is always, who will take care of my kid